my noisy friends in the corner. We have Joan, we have Lynn, we have Mary, we have Rosemary, we have Val, and we have Web Mom with her camera. In their foolishness, they've asked me to do Bookatrix this morning, which I will endeavour to show you. The Bookatrix board is this one here, and I've had this for quite a while, and to be quite honest, have found it, despite watching the videos, very difficult to get the hang of which groove you want to be in, and I'm hoping today to be able to maybe give you a shortcut and an easier way to do it. I have already done one. I've actually done more than one. And I have to say, doing all these different things in craft didn't really bother me up until just recently, when we realised we had people from America. Tilly Handbag comes to mind. Hello Tilly Handbag, or whatever your name is. To realise that there are actually people in America actually watching this, which has put the fear of death in me, but never mind. So, you go with me. I am not a professional. I will make as many mistakes as everybody else does, but if it's of any help to you, here we go. The first outline I have done is that one, which I have to say is probably but the best one I've done, and I'm not likely to do one as good as that again. I have prepared some. I have prepared that one there, but I'm going to actually do this one to show you from scratch some of the sneaky ways of doing it. Up until now, got an itchy nose, excuse me, got a cat sitting behind me, might have something to do with it. Up until now, I've always gone for a spare piece of table to maybe use a candle or use soap to smooth over the card. And by sheer chance, only last night, I didn't have space, so I actually put it on the board like that. And because I had the weight of the board, I started doing that. Now, I don't know whether Alice can actually see that or not, but if you look really closely, you can actually see the lines, all the lines of everything you want coming through, which makes life 1,000,001 times easier. Good idea. Right? Once you've got that, my problem always was when I started was I might have started in one groove, but I somehow jumped onto another groove, and I'm quite sure other people have done this. I have now got really quite hooked on this board because it's doing what I want it to do. So the first and foremost thing is you now have an outline, but you use your central grooves like that, which now are much easier to do. I said I have got arthritic hands, which cause me a great deal of problems, and I can do this where I struggled with it before. And it also leaves you being able to go like that, and like that, and down. And what I've been doing is doing all the layers, because at the end of the day you can then decide which ones you actually want to have as your main one, and which ones you actually want to have. You can change your mind actually halfway through, which, not that I do that. My friends will verify I never change my mind about things. Yes, I know we're here. But you might say, but do you need to cut out all these shapes? You kind of get into the flow of it, and once you've done that, hey, there's no stopping. You just want to keep going. So by getting this done, this is done on the big main Glitter Girls Bookatrix. But on the framey board that they also provide, there is a small one that you can use on a card, which you can adapt, which Rosemary is doing. You can adapt to being almost like a mini Bookatrix. And it does fit with the cards because the main Bookatrix takes up 4 sheets of cards. So I would suggest that if you're new to it, don't use good card, use paper if you want until you get the feel of it. And you always do it on the back of your card. So if you have a nice shiny card, you're having to work on the back of it because you want the front to have all the grooves. That could be your base, or you could have it so many lines down, depending on what you want it to be. I have already prepared some. So that was my base one, which was the silver one, which I'm not using, that was just for showing. I have cut this one out, and as you can see, I don't have the extra grooves because I hadn't learned how to do it at that point. So there's my base one, and the board can go out my road. Probably knock Val out in the process, but we'll not worry about that. Your second layer you try to have maybe darker. You can choose whatever colours you like. This one I started last night. For those of you who maybe are new to crafting altogether, you can get the chain peel-offs, which are probably the best peel-offs to use, and just do that on your second sheet. Don't ask me why it's your second sheet. It seems to be so. I'm not going to argue with you. Now that gives me my second layer. That will give me my third layer. And this here, which perhaps Lynn would cut out for me, I'm wanting to have this one to be my last layer. So you have to cut above the embossing line, right round there, right round your embossing line. And I know it's a waste of card, but it does, for me, it's worth it because it gives me a better job, a better result at the end. So if I let Lynn carry on cutting that one, the Bookatrix does take quite a long time to do, and I want a little bit of that one. You can tweak it, and I'm actually not going to tweak it too much today because these are things I can do at my leisure. But I'm just going to, that will be sorted after. You want it to be, how do you get it rolled over? There are various ways of getting it rolled over. And I also found a sneaky way is one of either a children's rolling pin or ones you can get in the garden centres for like mini pastry cutters, I think they are. And I have found that if you just use that like a little rolling pin and persuade the card, bearing in mind that you're actually boss of the card is not the boss of you, and if it won't do what you want it to do, as Alice would say, I just persuade it to do what I want it to do, and you can roll it, and that gives you your curve. But you also have, you know, you've got 3 centre lines. You've got that one, that one and that one. What you also want to do is to create a groove for attaching it together. So if you do it on the reverse, you're wanting to bend it there slightly. You're also wanting to bend it there slightly, so that when it's there, you're getting the real bend over. You then take your next layer and you do the same thing with that. Now it might be that with the chain on, it might not want to do this, but we'll try it anyway. As I say, this is really just to give an idea of hints for cutting. I had this for ages and really didn't use it as much as I should have used it. And I have to say that it's great fun now. And I'm not saying everybody's going to get Bookatrix for the Christmas, because they're not. They're going to get carved out pound shop this year. And I'll be too busy doing special ones. And that would then sit on that one, like so. And this is where you're beginning to get the build up. And again, you're preparing these ones, folding them over. Doesn't matter whether you do them first of all and then roll them. The end result more or less comes the same. But this little rolling pin is fabulous just for doing what I want it to do, really. And that would then become your next layer. And I'm not at this point going to attach everything because it is only a 10-minute video. I don't want to bore my American friends to pieces, or they might unsubscribe and not come back to see us anymore. But we wanted to let you know we are a group. We all make a mess, and we're in Val's house today. And that is as far as we've got for the moment. I will come back to you later.